And welcome everybody back here to Van Hooser Gymnasium on the campus of Whitwell High School for the finale here for the Summertown girls as they take on the Moore County Raiders here for the de facto Whitwell Thanksgiving Classic Championship game. It was a round-robin tournament that involved Summertown, Moore County, Whitwell, and Huntland. And the Raiders of Moore County and the Eagles of Summertown each won their two previous games, so this one will be for the championship. This is AJ Good here on the X Sports Network. Kevin Wright is our producer here. He's running your camera and also all of your video graphics here this evening. This game will be followed by the Summertown boys. They'll also be in action in the championship game right after this. We're starting a little bit later than normal. We got a little bit behind schedule because of the previous game between Rhea County and Huntland, the boys, in their losers bracket championship game that went down to the wire. Checking out Summertown coming into this game at 4-0 on the season. Picking up 2 wins here, 10 points over Huntland, then 29 over the host squad in the Whitwell Tigers. Their head coach is Jeremy Jean. He's actually a bit of a homecoming of sorts here for Jeremy Jean. He played at Moore County, so he'll be taking on his former high school, his alma mater, in tonight's game. Checking out the starting lineups here for Moore County. The Raiders coming in this game at 2-1 on the season, dropped their opener to Coffee County, then defeated Huntland and Whitwell here during this tournament. Starting for the Raiders will be Olivia Richards, Erica Clifton, Ellie Graham, and Katie Fletcher. And checking out the starting lineup for Summertown, it's going to be Carly Campbell, Emily Brazier, Ainsley Burleson, Katie Burdett, and Reese Wilson. All 5 of these seen a lot of time in the previous 2 games and have played very, very well for the Lady Eagles, coming into this game at 4-0 on the season. Looking to improve to 5-0 before they head into the Thanksgiving break, where they're going to get some much-needed several days off. The other starter is Chloe Brazier from Moore County. Was not on their initial roster that I got from the scores table, or I might have just overlooked it. One or the other. Things happen, but Chloe Brazier will also be starting for the Raiders. For those of you tuning in on our many X Sports radio networks, the Lady Eagles in their home whites, outlined in light blue with dark blue numerals, royal blue numerals, if you want to put it that way. Moore County will be wearing their road Carolina blue, baby blue, however you want to put it, uniforms. White numerals outlined in dark or navy blue. Set to tip things off here will be Ellie Graham for the Raiders and Katie Burdett for the Lady Eagles. And we're set to start. Burdett is going to tip it back to Reese Wilson to head quickly to Emily Brazier at the wing. Now to Carly Campbell at the top, over to Ainsley Burleson at the wing. Back to Campbell at the top of the key. Now over to Brazier. Brazier dribbles back out to Campbell. Screen set by Wilson as Campbell now kicks out to Burleson. Burleson dribbles to top of the key, now hands it off to Brazier. Brazier drives, goes up and in. First bucket of the game goes to Emily Brazier, and the Lady Eagles with a quick 2-0 lead. Pushing it up quickly is Olivia Richards here for the Raiders. Passes it off. That's Erica Clifton. Now to Chloe Brazier. Misses the first shot. Rebounded by Katie Burdett ahead to Carly Campbell. Now pushes it up, stops. Now over to Burleson. Burleson's going to try a deep 3. Rattles out, no good. Rebounded on the play was Brazier. Now hands it off to Clifton. Clifton drives. Now to Richards. Richards backs down Brazier. Now sends it back out to Clifton. Clifton drives into the paint, stops, kicks out to Ellie Graham for 3, and she hits it. That one rattles home, and Moore County takes a 3-2 lead, just under 7 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. Carly Campbell bringing it up here for the Lady Eagles. She has it at the Whitwell logo. Now off to Reese Wilson. Ainsley Burleson at the wing. Dribbles out at the Katie Burdett at the top of the key. Now to Carly Campbell. Gets a screen set from Burdett. Now to Reese Wilson. Wilson dribbles, hands off to Brazier. Brazier drives now at the Burdett at the top of the key. Over to Ainsley Burleson. Screen set here, but she's going to take it herself. She goes up and And that one's going to fall in. So Burleson gets her first points of the game. And Summertown takes a 4-3 lead. 6:20 here left to play in the first quarter. Ball's into Richards. She's going to take it across the timeline. Now sends it to Clifton at the wing. Gets a screen from Brazier. She dribbles. Now out to Graham at the wing. Gets it back to Richards. Richard dribbles. She's going to step up for three. Front iron, no good. Rebounded by Burdett. Now hands off to Carly Campbell across the timeline. She drives, goes up, throws up the layup, and can't get that one to go. Rebounded by Katie Fletcher. They bring it up the court. That's Clifton. Now hands it off to Frazier, back to Clifton. Clifton now has it, the Whitwell logo. Now drives to her right. Gets a screen here from Brazier. She now kicks it out to Fletcher. Fletcher's going to try a three. Back iron, no good. Out to Carly Campbell. Campbell's now going to bring it over the timeline for the Lady Eagles, over to Ainsley Burleson at the wing. Now back out to Campbell. She's going to bark out the signals. She dribbles at the Tiger logo. Now throws it in the Burleson backdoor cut. That one's up and in. 4 points for Ainsley Burleson. And the Lady Eagles lead this one 6-3. 5:10 remaining in the first quarter. Ball goes into Fletcher. Fletcher being double teamed. And we're going to get our first foul of the night. So it goes against Summertown. And that one's going to go against Carly Campbell. Her first foul. Summertown's first foul. And the first foul for either side. 5:05 remaining here in the first. Olivia Richards is going to take it out of bounds here for the Raiders. Now ahead to Clifton, back to Richards. Richards is going to bring it up the court. She crosses the timeline. Quickly moving. Drives into the paint. Now out to Clifton. Clifton kicks out to Fletcher. Fletcher drives the baseline. Now kicks it back out to Clifton at the wing. Clifton drives out to Richards, top of the key. She's going to drive into the paint. Jump stop. Goes up, under, and she hits it. First points of the game for Olivia Richards. It's a 6-5 Summertown lead. 4:40 remaining in the first. Carly came out to Wilson, now to Burleson. Thinks about three, pulls it down. Skip pass over to Brazier, saves it. Brazier dribbling, now out to Ainsley Burleson, inside to Katie Burdett. Burdett kicks it out to Burleson. She now dribbles, gets a screen, loses the ball, and that's our first turnover. Ball goes to Moore County. Summertown leading at 6-5, 4:21 here in the first. Good pace to this game so far as Richards now inbounds it to Fletcher. Now back out to Richards. Richards going to bring it up as she crosses the timeline. She's now going to drive. Goes up, under, layup, and can't get it to go. And here comes Reese Wilson ahead to Emily Brazier. Now down low to Burdett. Now out to Burleson, back to Brazier in the corner. She's going to try a three and hits it. 5 points for Emily Brazier, 2 for 2 from the field. Summertown leads at 9-5. Just under 4 minutes left to play in the first quarter. As Richards throws it into Fletcher, now back to Richards. And Richards is going to bring it up the court here for Moore County. She's across the timeline, guarded by Carly Campbell. She's going to get a screen here, but can't get it. Now Richards is going to spin. Doing her best to keep Campbell off of her. Now sends it out to Graham, now out to Clifton. Clifton out to Brazier at the top of the key. Thinks about three. She's going to try it. Rattles out. No good. Battle for it down low, and that one's going to go to Summertown. 3:26 remaining here in the first. Summertown leading 9-5. It's Reese Wilson inbound to Carly Campbell. Walks it up the court. She's now going to cross the timeline. Pass over to Katie Burdett. She's now going to drive, loses control of it, kicks it out to Brazier. Now to Ainsley Burleson, going to try a three from the wing, and nothing but net and in. Ainsley Burleson has 7. Summertown leads it 12-5. Inside now to Fletcher. Fletcher kicks it back out to Richards, and Richards is going to bring it up for Moore County. Crossing the timeline, being guarded by Carly Campbell. Campbell now hands it up to Clifton, now out to Fletcher. Little weave action coming up here from Moore County. Richards thinks about three. She's going to step up for the jumper in the paint and hits it. Richards has 4 points, and Moore County cuts the lead to 12-7. Here comes Campbell now out to Brazier in the corner. She dribbles now out to Campbell. Campbell now over to Burleson at the other wing. Inside to Burdett. Down low to Wilson. Kicks out to Brazier. She's going to try another three from the corner. Rattles out. No good. Rebounded by Katie Burdett, and that's going to be the first foul against Moore County. And that one's going to go against Katie Fletcher. That's her first, and Moore County's first. Just one foul on each side as we have 2:27 here remaining in the first quarter. Reese Wilson checks out. Mia Dinwiddie going to check in for Summertown. Also checking in the game for Moore County is Macy Fletcher. And a missed shot there by Carly Campbell. Over in the back called. And Burdett's going to get called for her first foul. 2 against the Eagles. Richards takes it out of bounds here for Moore County. So then to Macy Fletcher. Now back out to Richards. Richards being guarded by Carly Campbell. She crosses the timeline. Gets a screen, but fights it off. Campbell now screen from Fletcher. Richards now sends it out to Ellie Graham. Graham's going to drive. Kicks it out to Macy Fletcher. Fletcher's layup is up no good, but is fouled on the play. That's going to go against Campbell. It's going to be the team's third, and that's Campbell's second. 2:06 remaining here in the first quarter. Summertown leading it 12-7. And Macy Fletcher's going to go to the line to shoot the first free throws of the game. First one's up, and it's in. Now checking in the game is Reese Wilson for Campbell. Head coach Jeremy Jean facing his alma mater in this one. As Fletcher's next shot back iron no good, and Katie Burdett comes down with it for Summertown. Now at the Emily Brazier, she's going to push it up the court. Cross the timeline. Now over to Mia Dinwiddie. Dinwiddie. Hand off to Ainsley Burleson. Burleson now has it. Another handoff here to Dinwiddie. Gets a screen from Katie Burdett. Now at the Emily Brazier at the wing. She dribbles out to Ainsley Burleson. And Burleson dribbling around. Lobs in to Reese Wilson. Wilson now kicks it out to Mia Dinwiddie for 3. Back iron no good. Rebounded by Reese Wilson. Now back out to Ainsley Burleson. Now over to Emily Brazier. Down low to Katie Burdett at the post. And she throws it to Wilson. Can't get it, but Mia Dinwiddie comes up with Summertown. Now back out to Katie Burdett. Burdett back out to Dinwiddie. Out to Ainsley Burleson at the top of the key. Hands off to Emily Brazier. Brazier steps up but sends it back out to Dinwiddie. 1:05 remaining here in the first quarter. Brazier crosses over. Now back to Dinwiddie at the top of the key. She dribbles. Screen from Burdett. Now over to Brazier. Stumbles but gets it back to Dinwiddie. Out to Ainsley Burleson. Inside the Reese Wilson. Pass 2. Katie Burdett is intercepted by Macy Fletcher. And the Raiders are going to bring it up. Erica Clifton going to bring it across the timeline here from Moore County. Dribbles to her right. Now sends it in to Richards. Richards going to drive and loses it. And they're going to call. Actually, going to say she just straight up lost it. And it's going to go out of bounds to Summertown. Now inside here to Emily Brazier. And Brazier's going to cross the timeline for Summertown with 30 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Now over to Burleson. Burleson going to drive the baseline. Goes up and under and hits it. Burleson is 9. Summertown leads it 14-8. Burleson is 4 of 5 from the field. Clifton now calls the play here. And we're going to get a push foul coming up here against Mia Dinwiddie. That's her first. That's the team's 4th. As Katie Fletcher now gives it in to Erica Clifton. Clifton crosses the timeline here from Moore County. And Clifton drives, gets a screen from Macy Fletcher. She's going to go to the baseline, goes up, and she's going to get fouled by Dinwiddie. She's going to go to the line and shoot 2, and that's 2 quick ones on Mia Dinwiddie. (14-8) is the Summertown lead. Clock stops at 2.3 seconds remaining. First attempt up here is rattles out and in. 2.3 seconds remaining here. Checking into the game, Olivia Riggs for Dinwiddie. So 2 Lady Eagles, 2 big parts of the Lady Eagles in foul trouble. Second attempt here from Clifton is up. Back iron no good. Rebounded by Brazier, goes out of bounds. And it's going to go to a Summertown. With 0.6 seconds remaining, more than likely they're just going to send it in, but to Brazier, and she doesn't get the shot off. So after 1 quarter of play here, Summertown leads at 14-8. When we return, it'll be time for the second quarter here on the X Sports Network. And back here at the Van Hooser Gym at Whitwell High School for the Whitwell Thanksgiving Classic, the championship game of the girls bracket between Summertown and Moore County. Lady Eagles leading the Raiders 14-8 after 8 minutes of play. Moore County going to have possession of the ball to start the second half as the ball goes into Erica Clifton, Clifton dribbles to her right, guarded by Emily Brazier. Now goes inside to Macy Fletcher, who misses but gets her own rebound. Goes back, and we're going to get a charge call against Macy Fletcher. Reese Wilson taking it out of bounds here for Summertown and throws it in to Emily Brazier. It's only the second team foul against the Raiders. Burleson now has it at the wing, steps back, and passes it over to Olivia Riggs. Riggs gets a screen from Burdett. Now out to Reese Wilson at the top of the key. Over to Burleson at the wing. Burleson now over to Riggs in the corner. She dribbles now back out to Burleson. Burleson over to Emily Brazier at the wing. She dribbles to the top of the key. Now to Burleson. And it's inside to Burdett and off her hands, and that's the third turnover against the Eagles. Richards pushes it up here. Richards going to drive the baseline, spins, and throws it right to Reese Wilson, but Wilson can't handle it. It goes out of bounds to Moore County. 7:08 remaining here in the first half. As Clifton takes it out of bounds. Has trouble throwing it in, but gets it in to Richards. Richard guarded by Riggs. Gets a screen from Ellie Graham. Now kicks out to Katie Fletcher. Fletcher now to Macy Fletcher at the top of the key. Thinks about three, pulls it down. Now to Erica Clifton. Gets a screen from Fletcher. And now sends it back to Fletcher for three. The give and go, no good. Rebounded by Katie Burdett. Now to Emily Brazier. Brazier ahead over to Olivia Riggs in the corner. Thinks about three, pulls it down. Now back to Brazier. Now to Riggs. Riggs is going to drive the baseline. Stops. And that one is going to stay with Summertown. Say it went off of Moore County. Checking into the game for the first time today for Moore County, Charlotte Ray. She's checking in for Erica Clifton. Also checking in is going to be Paisley Logan for Moore County. She will come in for Katie Fletcher. As Emily Brazier takes it out of bounds here for Summertown. Over to Reese Wilson. Wilson now hands it off to Brazier. Brazier over to Ainsley Burleson. Down low to Katie Burdett. Burdett out the Riggs in the corner. She's going to drive. Back out to Burleson at the top of the key. Now back to Brazier at the wing. Brazier dribbles around. Now to Ainsley at the top of the key. Gives it in to Katie Burdett, and Burdett's going to get fouled. And that one's going to go against Macy Fletcher. That's going to be her second. The team's third. 6:18 remaining here in the second. And as if you can't tell from our side, the Moore County fans don't agree with that call. Emily Brazier now is going to take it out of bounds and sends it in to Reese Wilson. Wilson being guarded by Ellie Graham right on the baseline, and they're going to call a walk. Fourth turnover against the Lady Eagles. No turnovers by Moore County. So far been a pretty cleanly played game as they're waiting for someone from Moore County to take it out of bounds, and that'll be Ellie Graham throwing it in the Charlotte Ray. As Ray's going to dribble it up the court here for the Raiders. She crosses the timeline. She's going to get a screen by Graham. Sends over to Richards in the corner. Guarded by Riggs. Now going to drive into the paint. And that one gets intercepted. First turnover of the game by the Raiders, and that's Reese Wilson ahead to Emily Brazier. Brazier at the wing. Now over to Olivia Riggs in the corner. Out to Reese Wilson. Wilson down low to Burdett. Hook shot in the lane. No good. Rebounded by Graham. And Graham's not going to bring it up for Moore County. Across the timeline. Hands off to Paisley Logan. Logan drives into the paint. Over to Brazier. Now out to Logan. She's going to try a three from the wing. Back iron. No good. Into a pile of Blazers. And it's going to go out of bounds to Summertown. 14-8 is the Summertown lead. 5:32 remaining here in the second. As Abby Jo Schaefer checks in for Katie Burdett. Bringing it up is Emily Brazier. Now ahead to Reese Wilson to Ainsley Burleson. Burleson going to drive the baseline. Easy layups up and in. Burleson with 11. Summertown extends her lead out to 16-8. Bringing it up is Charlotte Ray here for Moore County. She crosses the timeline, being guarded by Emily Brazier. Now inside the Brazier. Brazier out to Ray. Ray finds Richards at the top of the key, guarded by Olivia Riggs. Now gets a screen from Richards dribbles around, now out to Ray. Ray mishandles it but gets it back. Gets a screen from Graham. Now has it at the top of the key. Dribbles to the corner, tries to go inside the Brazier, picks up her dribble. She's in trouble but gets it to Brazier down low, guarded by Schaefer. And Brazier's going to take it. That one goes up and in. Chloe Brazier's first points, and the lead's back to 6, 16-10. But quickly up comes Summertown. Olivia Riggs kicks in the corner. Ainsley Burleson. Back iron, no good for three. Almost rattles out. And Abby Jo Schaefer's going to get called for her first foul. It's a team 6th. .433 remaining here in the second quarter. Summertown lead at 16-10. Very fast-moving first half as Katie Fletcher going to check in for Paisley Logan. It's Olivia Richards sends it into Katie Fletcher. Now back to Olivia Richards, and Summertown backs off the press a bit as Richard crosses the timeline, comes up with speed. Ahead to Charlotte Ray. Ray dribbles, hands off to Katie Fletcher at the wing, dribbles the top of the key, ahead to Richards. Richards now going to drive. Stopped. Shot is up, can't go. Rebounded by Graham. Graham now going to try the baseline jumper. Back iron, no good. Rebounded by Wilson. Up ahead is Summertown. Emily Brazier. Now ahead to Ainsley Burleson at the top of the key. Now to Olivia Riggs at the wing. She's going to dribble at the top of the key. Now drives. Kicks out to Emily Brazier. Thinks about three. Now drives in the paint. And she's going to get fouled. Don't know if she's going to. They say she wasn't shooting. That's going to go against Richards. That's her first. That's the team's 4th. 3:54 remaining here in the second quarter. Summertown lead at 16-10. Mackenzie Reynolds checks in for Olivia Riggs. Emily Brazier takes it out of bounds. Now to Reese Wilson in the corner. Out to Reynolds at the top of the key. Now to Wilson. Now back out to Ainsley Burleson at the top of the key. Guarded by Richards in this zone. 2-3 zone put on by the Raiders. Reynolds now out to Burleson. Burleson drives but kicks it out to Reynolds. Reynolds at the top of the key to Reese Wilson. Wilson now in the corner to Brazier. Brazier dribbles. Mackenzie Reynolds. Back out to Brazier. Brazier at the top of the key. Back to Burleson in the corner. She thinks about it, drives the baseline, and she's going to get fouled by Ellie Graham. That's Graham's first as the team's 5th. 3:25 remaining here in the second quarter. Summertown leading by 6. Brazier. Skip pass out to Burleson. Burleson has the Tiger logo. She drives to her right, now hands it off to Mackenzie Reynolds. Reynolds now at the Emily Brazier at the other wing. She dribbles to the top of the key. Now over to Burleson at the wing. Into Wilson. Wilson lobs it into Schaefer, and it gets stolen, but back to Wilson. Now Olivia Richards has it, and we eventually have a maybe timeout. And they're going to give Moore County the timeout, which they called, so that's the first one for the Raiders. 3:05 remaining here in the first half. With that, we'll take a break here on the X Sports Network. Hey, and back here at the Whitwell Thanksgiving Classic second quarter. 3:05 remaining here in the first half. Summertown leading at 16-10 over Moore County. Olivia Richards sends it in to Ellie Graham. Now back to Richards, and Richards is going to bring it up for the Raiders. Richards now dribbles, guarded by Brazier. Now hands off to Graham, guarded by Burleson. Backdoor cut to Katie Fletcher, and she gets fouled. She's going to go to the line to shoot two. And that foul is going to go against Abby Jo Schaefer, her second, team 7th. And Fletcher's going to go to the line for the first time tonight. Raiders 1 for 4 from the free throw stripe here this evening. First one from Fletcher is up. Back on, no good. Checking in is Katie Burdett for Fletcher. For Schaefer. 2:53 remaining here. And the second free throw from Fletcher is up. And nothing but net. 1 of 2 from the line. That cuts the Summertown lead to 16-11. Emily Brazier moves up quickly to Ainsley Burleson. Thinks about three, back to Brazier. Brazier dribbles around off the screen from Reese Wilson. Now to Mackenzie Reynolds. Reynolds dribbles to the top of the key, crosses over to Emily Brazier. Brazier, baseline drive. Floater gets blocked there by Ellie Graham. Now, it's ahead to Charlotte Ray, just checked in. She has it at the wing. She's going to cross into the paint. Up to Ellie Graham. Graham dribbles. That's Fletcher open in the corner. She tries a three and hits it. Fletcher with 4, And the lead for Summertown's down the 2, 16-14. Reese Wilson now hands off to Mackenzie Reynolds. Now Nancy Burleson down low to Katie Burdett. And she's going to get fouled. See 6 against the Raiders. This one is going to go against Chloe Brazier. That's her first, the team 6. Now Emily Brazier. Skip pass out to Burleson, stolen away, knocked away by Olivia Richards. Charlotte Ray as it goes up and in. First points for Charlotte Ray, and we're tied up at 16 apiece. Ainsley Burleson brings it up, down low to Katie Burdett. Burdett, left-handed hook shot, cannot go, and it's rebounded by Katie Fletcher. Brought up by Charlotte Ray, game tied at 16, 1:50 remaining here in the first half. Richards has it, drives into the paint, spin move, and she's fouled. That's going to go against, I believe, Reese Wilson. That's the team's 8th, and that's Wilson's first. Richards is going to go to the line for the first time tonight. Raiders 2 of 6 from the free throw line. Richards shooting to give the Raiders the lead. First shot is up, and it's nothing but net. 5 points for Richards. And here comes the second. That one's up, and it's in. 2 for 2 for Richards. It's an 18-16 Moore County lead. Here comes Emily Brazier across the timeline. Now to Ainsley Burleson. Over to Reese Wilson. Wilson hands it off to Reynolds. Reynolds now to Ainsley Burleson. Burleson gets her pass deflected and stolen by Charlotte Ray. 6 turnovers for the Eagles as Ray brings it across the timeline. Over to Ellie Graham. Graham now dribbles to the wing. Ahead to Fletcher. Fletcher drives, throws it out of bounds. Trying for Chloe Brazier as the ball goes literally into the concession stand. 1:17 remaining here in the first half. As Brazier bringing up the court here for the Lady Eagles. Now to Ainsley Burleson, back to Brazier to Reese Wilson. To Mackenzie Reynolds. Reynolds now in the corner to Burleson, thinks about 3 now and open. Wilson, baseline, throws it to Reynolds in the corner. Reynolds, skip pass over to Burleson. Over to Reese Wilson, baseline jumper, and it hit the back. Yeah, that hit the back part of the basket, so it's automatically out of bounds to Moore County. As Richards now going to inbounds it here into Katie Fletcher. Now to Olivia Richards. We come up on 50 seconds left to play here in the first half. Richards going to her left, guarded by Burleson. Gets a screen from Ellie Graham. Now going to drive to the paint. Pass attempted and intercepted by Brazier. Third turnover by the Raiders as Brazier's ahead to Ainsley Burleson. Burleson, there's a down low to Katie Burdett. Burdett out to Reynolds. Now to Brazier. Brazier over to Burleson. NBA range 3 is up and hits it. 14 points for Ainsley Burleson, and Summertown retakes the lead, 19-18. 25 seconds remaining here in the first half. Charlotte Ray crosses the timeline for Moore County. She's going to get a screen here from Chloe Brazier. Takes it now to the top of the key. Throws it down low to Brazier, guarded by Katie Burdett. Right-handed hook shot is blocked, but regained by Ellie Graham. Kicks it out to Richards. Richards going to try a 3 and hits it. And just like that, Moore County retakes the lead. Now quickly ahead to Brazier. Brazier half-court shot doesn't go. After 16 minutes of play, Summertown trails 21-19 here in the Whitwell Thanksgiving Classic Championship game. When we return, it'll be time for the second half here on the X Sports Network. And back here at the Whitwell Thanksgiving Classic, getting ready to start the second half here between Moore County and Summertown. Right now, the Raiders have a lead on the Lady Eagles, 21-19. Taking a look at some of these statistics for the Raiders. Their leading scorers, Olivia Richards with 9. Katie Fletcher has 2, Ellie Graham with 3, Chloe Brazier with 2, Charlotte Ray with 2, and Macy Fletcher with 1. On the other side for Summertown, just 2 people scoring for the Eagles. You have Emily Brazier with 5, and leading all scorers is Ainsley Burleson with 14. Summertown had 6 turnovers in the first half, and Moore County only 3. Very fast-moving game. Story has been foul trouble, which has plagued Summertown early. Carly Campbell picked up 2 quick ones, so did Mia Dimwitty, and they had to play with 2 of their big factors, 2 big pieces for most of the first half. So Campbell is back in the game here, the point guard. Original starting five in for both sides. Is Brazier now going to come up? And here comes Emily Brazier, now over to Carly Campbell. Campbell going to try the three and hits it. Her 4 points of the game, and Summertown takes the lead back 22-21. Olivia Richards now going to bring it up here for the Raiders, guarded by Campbell. She crosses the timeline quickly. Now has it at the Whitwell logo and gets a screen from Graham. Graham and Campbell knock knees there. Now Katie Fletcher's going to try a three. Misses everything. Rebounded by Brazier. And Brazier now pushing it up quickly over to Ainsley Burleson. Thinks about three, pulls it down. Now kicks over to Brazier in the corner for three. Rattles out and victory goes back in. Brazier has 2 quick threes, and Summertown has a 4-point lead just a minute into the game. Or a minute into the second half, I should say. They have Olivia Richards bringing it up here from Moore County. Now to Clifton, over to Graham, now to Katie Fletcher. Fletcher now over to Richards. Richards guarded by Campbell. Loses control of it, but regains it. Hands it over to Fletcher. Now over to Clifton. Clifton loses it. And it's regained by Ellie Graham, and Moore County is going to call their second timeout of the game. Summertown leading it by 4. 6:43 remaining here in the third quarter. With that, we'll take a break here on the X Sports Network. And back here at Whitwell for the Thanksgiving Classic. Summertown hits 2 quick threes. They lead this one 25-21. 6:43 remaining in the third quarter. These two sides are very familiar with each other in boys and girls basketball. They've met several times in the sub-state sectional games, especially dating back to the early to mid-90s and the 2010s. A lot of the parents and the coaches from both sides, including Jeremy Jean, whose alma mater is Moore County, know each other very well. Olivia Richards going to throw up a shot here, and she has 11 for Moore County, and the Summertown lead is down to 2, 25-23. Burleson in the corner, now out to Carly Campbell. Back to Burleson, thinks about a three, drives the baseline. Baseline pass to Brazier, now to Reese Wilson. She's going to drive the paint, loses it, kicks it back out to Brazier in the corner. Now over to Campbell. Campbell's going to try a three. She hits it. 2 quick three-pointers for Carly Campbell, and the lead is 28-23 for Summertown. After no points in the first half, Campbell has 6 already here in the third quarter. As Clifton brings it up here from Moore County, he's going to get a screen from H.C. Fletcher. She's going to drive, goes up, and is going to get fouled by Ainsley Burleson. That's Burleson's first. Team's first of the second half. And Clifton is going to go to the line to shoot 2. 0 for 2 so far from the line in this one. Clifton doesn't have any points just yet. Her free throw is up, and it's in. 28-24 is the Lady Eagle lead. Second one from Clifton. It's up, and it's in. Nothing but net. Hits both free throws, and the lead for Summertown's 28-25. 5:55 remaining. Burleson now drives the baseline. Spin move and gets her shot rejected, but regains it. Now out to Wilson. Wilson here to Brazier. Now to Campbell. Campbell to Burleson for three. Rattles out, no good, and it's rebounded by Wilson. Now back out to Burleson to Campbell. Campbell down low to Katie Burdett. Left-handed hook shot, and she gets fouled. Burdett's going to go to the line to shoot 2. And Macy Fletcher is going to pick up her third. Team's first of the second half, and Burdett's going to go to the line to shoot 2. These are the first free throws of the game for Summertown. First free throw is off the back iron, no good. 5:35 remaining here in the third quarter. Checking into the game is Paisley Logan and Chloe Brazier for Katie and Macy Fletcher for Moore County. Second free throw attempt here for Burdett is up, and it's in. She hits 1 of 2, her first point of the game. It's a 29-25 Lady Eagle lead. Press put on here by Summertown. Richards trying to get it in, throws it in to Ellie Graham, and Graham, almost like a back shoulder throw in football, gets it from Richards, now hands it back to Richards. She's going to drive the paint, gets it knocked away, but we get a foul call. This one's going to go against Reese Wilson, her second, team second of the second half. is Clifton. Clifton lobs it in for Graham. Graham pump fakes up, and she's going to get fouled. Second against Katie Burdett, team's third of the second half, and Graham's going to go to the line to shoot 2. Her first free throws of the game. First free throw attempt is up, and it's nothing but net. Here comes the second from Graham. It is up, and it's in. She's 2 for 2. It's a 2-point Summertown lead, 29 for 27. The Raiders now 6 of 11 from the line. Campbell brings it up here for Lady Eagles. Down low to Katie Burdett. Actually hands it off to Burleson. Now to Campbell. Campbell thinks about 3 out to Brazier. Brazier now over to wing to Reese Wilson. Down low to Katie Burdett. She's double teamed. Now out to Campbell. Campbell's going to try a 3. Back iron, no good. Rebounded by Ainsley Burleson. Burleson now sends it out to Campbell. Campbell's going to drive. Takes it herself and gets fouled. And that's one's going to go against Clifton, her first. Team second of the second half, and Campbell's going to go to the line to shoot 2. And here comes Campbell's first attempt is up, and it's nothing but net. She's got 7 points, 30 to 27, the Lady Eagle lead. 4:56 remaining in the third. Second attempt is up, and it's in. 2 for 2. She's got 8 points, all in the second half, and they forgot to allow Mia Dimwitty in. She will come in and check in for Emily Brazier. Dimwitty has 2 fouls. She's set out for most of the first half with those 2 fouls. As Richards now lobs in for Ellie Graham, almost intercepted by Campbell, and she's going to lose control of it. That one goes to baseline. She regains it out to Chloe Brazier. Now out to Graham. Graham give and go with Brazier, but it's blocked. Reese Wilson's going to bring it up here to Carly Campbell. Campbell goes up, and they're going to call a block on Clifton. Judging by the reaction here from the Moore County fans, they disagree. And the first free throw attempt is up and in. Second free throw attempt here from Campbell is up and it's in. Nothing but net. She's 4 for 4 from the free throw stripe. Eagles are 5 of 6. They lead at 33-27. Mackenzie Reynolds comes in for Ainsley Burleson. And Paisley Logan going to check in for Clifton. Clifton's got 2. Richards now throws it in to Charlotte Ray, who also just checked in for Moore County. And Charlotte Ray dribbles, now hands it over to Richards. Richards with the screen from Brazier. Now sends it to Ray. Ray now down low to Brazier. Brazier guarded by Burleson. Goes up and doesn't get any of it. And we got a jump ball called, and that's going to stay with Moore County. Both sides playing very good defense on both ends. Nothing comes easy in this one. Charlotte Ray takes it out of bounds here for the Raiders. And lobs it into Richards. Richards dribbles around, guarded by Reynolds. Now in the corner to Logan. Logan gets a screen from Brazier. Now over to Charlotte Ray. Ray dribbles by the Whitwell logo. Now hands it off to Logan. Paisley Logan dribbles, top of the key, hand off to Ellie Graham. Graham guarded by Riggs. She now kicks out to Charlotte Ray. Ray kicks out to Paisley Logan. Logan now out to Graham. Graham backdoor cut to Ray. Ray gets it blocked by Katie Burdett. And it's into Carly Campbell. Campbell across the timeline. Now to Olivia Riggs. Now out to Campbell. Campbell gets a screen from Burdett. Thinks about 3, now over to Riggs. Riggs gets her pass attempt knocked out of bounds. 3:33 remaining here in the third quarter. Summertown lead at 33-27. Katie Fletcher going to check in here for Paisley Logan. As Campbell looks inside, wide open to Olivia Riggs. Beautiful cut, and that one falls in. First points of the game for Olivia Riggs. And Summertown leads at 35-27. Charlotte Bray brings it up the court across the timeline here from Moore County. Dribbles to her right, guarded by Carly Campbell. Now to Olivia Richards. Richards. And dribbles, getting a screen from Brazier, now hands it over to Katie Fletcher. Fletcher gets a screen from Brazier, now over to Richards. Richards thinks about a three, now being guarded by Mia Dimwitty. Richards dribbles, steps back, dribbles again, drives into the paint, and throws it to nobody, and it's intercepted by Katie Burdett. Burdett brings up quickly, now to Olivia Riggs. Riggs dribbles it back out to Carly Campbell as at the Whitwell logo. Now steps up, guarded by Charlotte Ray, now over to Olivia Riggs. Riggs down low to Katie Burdett, but it's stolen by Katie Fletcher. 7th turnover of the game for the Eagles. And Charlotte Bray brings it over the timeline, being guarded by Carly Campbell. Now is going to drive into the paint, kicks it out to Katie Fletcher for three, rattles out and rebounded by Katie Burdett. Now Campbell over to Mia Dimwitty, wide open for three, banks it but doesn't get it to go. And now bringing it up is Charlotte Ray here for the Raiders. Now over to Coley Brazier on the baseline. Now out to Ray, 1:55 remaining here in the third quarter. Eagles leading by 8. Ray now to Fletcher. Fletcher thinks about a three, guarded by Campbell. Picks up her dribble, now over to Olivia Richards. A mess here at the top of the key. Now Richards dribbles over to Ellie Graham. Graham now over to Ray. Ray thinks about three, now drives over to Chloe Brazier. Straight away three, front iron no good. And it's rebounded by Richards. Richards, good hustle here for the Raiders and keeps it alive. Now Richards loses control and brings it back out. She guarded by Mia Dimwitty. And now sends it to Ellie Graham. Graham over to Richards at the top of the key. 1:15 remaining in the third. She dribbles, crosses over, spins in the paint, kicks out to Katie Fletcher, tries a three, and hits it. Fletcher has 7, and the Summertown lead down the 5 at 35-20. 1 minute remaining in the third. Now, over to Wilson, over to Dimwitty at the wing. Dimwitty dribbles out. Still dribbling, guarded by Ellie Graham, now at the Carly Campbell at the Tiger logo. Campbell picks up dribble over to Wilson. Now to Campbell. Campbell going to get a screen from Katie Burdett. Over to Riggs in the corner. She drives and gets it stolen away by Charlotte Ray. Ray brings it up. Almost fouled. Picks up a dribble over to Fletcher in the corner. Thinks about three, but pulls it down. 30 seconds remaining in the third. Now out to Richards. Summertown leading 35-30 as Richards holds on to it. Now guarded by Carly Campbell. Dribbles to her left. And she's going to get a screen from Graham. Still guarded by Campbell, and they're going to hold it on for the final shot. Under 10 seconds of play here. She's going to cross over, gets a screen from Brazier. Now guarded by Katie Burdett. Fadeaway shot is up and in. Quickly out to Reese Wilson. Wilson's half-court shot's no good. After 24 minutes of play, 3 quarters, Summertown leads at 35-32. When we return, it'll be time for the fourth quarter here on the X Sports Network. And back here at the Whitwell Thanksgiving Classic, Summertown's girls leading Moore County 35-32. 1 quarter remaining. Eagles trying to go a perfect 3-0 at the tournament to improve to 5-0 on the season and bring home a little hardware as well. After this, will be the same 2 teams playing in the boys' championship. As Carly Campbell hands it over to Ainsley Burleson, now to Mia Dimwitty. Dimwitty dribbles out to Emily Brazier. Brazier crosses over, hands over to Carly Campbell. NBA range 3, rattles out, no good. Rebounded by Dimwitty. She's going to get the layup, and that one falls in. Dimwitty's first points of the game, and Summertown extends her lead out the 5, 37-32. 7:30 remaining here in the game as Olivia Richards brings out the court here for the Raiders. She drives, picks up her dribble now out to Macy Fletcher. Fletcher now at the Charlotte Ray at the Tiger logo. Guarded by Emily Brazier. Now to Katie Fletcher, who dribbles, hands off to Macy Fletcher, thinks about 3. Now over to Charlotte Ray. Ray back to Fletcher. Fletcher is going to try a 3 and hits it. Fletcher has 4, her first bucket of the game. And the lead is down to 2, 37-35. Now to Ainsley Burleson here for the Lady Eagles to Reese Wilson. Wilson now over to Carly Campbell, thinks about a 3. Now over to Ainsley Burleson. Burleson to Brazier. Brazier to Campbell. She's going to try a deep NBA range 3 and hits it. Carly Campbell has 13 all in the second half, and Summertown's leads back out the 5, 40-35, 6:40 remaining. Olivia Richards brings it up here. She's going to get double teamed, but Brazier backs off. Now over to Ellie Graham, and Graham pulls down, going to drive, and gets fouled. She's going to go to the line to shoot 2. And that foul is going to go against Emily Brazier. That's her first. Team's 4th of the second half. Very clean game for the most part played by these two sides. Two very good defensive squads, very talented. As Graham's going to go to the line to shoot 2. She's 2 for 2 from the stripe tonight. First shot is up. Front iron, no good. Coming back in is Erica Clifton here for Charlotte Brave for Moore County. And next shot is up, and it rattles home and in. Graham has 6. Summertown's lead 40-36, 6:25 remaining in the game. It's Campbell over to Brazier, back to Campbell, now to Mia Dimwitty. Over to Ainsley Burleson at the wing. Backdoor cut, and it's off the hands of Erica Clifton and out of bounds. No one was open on the play regardless. Good defense from Moore County. Carly Campbell. Now inside the Reese Wilson. Wilson spins out of it, now at the Mia Dimwitty. Now to Emily Brazier to Campbell. Campbell guarded by Katie Fletcher. Now over to Emily Brazier, top of the key to Mia Dimwitty, and we got our off-the-ball foul. And Macy Fletcher is going to get caught for that one. That's her 4th, as the team's 4th of the second half. Now checking in the game is Chloe Brazier for Macy Fletcher. Carly Campbell takes out of the bounds here for Lady Eagles. Skip pass out to Ainsley Burleson. Now open to Campbell. She tries another 3 and misses everything. But it's saved by Brazier, but throws it right into Ellie Graham. Graham now going to bring it up here for the Raiders. Skip pass over to Olivia Richards at the wing. Richards skip pass over to Katie Fletcher at the other wing. She's going to drive the baseline. Now over to Richards in the corner. She tries a 3, front iron, no good. But it's rebounded by Katie Fletcher. Now sent to Erica Clifton for 3, back iron, no good. Rebounded by Burleson. Burleson now going to bring it up. Now over to Reese Wilson. Thinks about a 3. Now drives the baseline. Skip pass over to Brazier. Now over to Carly Campbell, who drives at the top of the key. Now to Ainsley Burleson. Thinks about 3, but stumbles. Wide open is Reese Wilson. Down low, and it's in. First points of the game for Reese Wilson. And Summertown is going to take a timeout. Here is a lead by 6, 5:17 remaining. With that, we're going to take a break as well here on the X Sports Network. And back here at the Whitwell Thanksgiving Classic, 5:17 remaining in the game. The Summertown girls leading Moore County 42-36. Story of the second half here has been Carly Campbell. She has 13 points, all of those coming in the second half. She sat out most of the first half with foul trouble. Ainsley Burleson carried the team in the first half of 14. The second half, it's been Carly Campbell. Brazier has 8, and Reese Wilson with 2. Mia Dimwitty and Olivia Riggs also with 2 as well for the Lady Eagles. Erica Clifton bringing it up here for the Raiders. And Clifton now driving to her right, guarded by Carly Campbell. He's going to get a screen from Ellie Graham, and she's going to drive, pull up jumper, no good, rebounded by Ainsley Burleson. And Burleson brings it up here for Summertown. Now over to Carly Campbell. Campbell has it near the Whitwell logo, now drives to her left, over to Mia Dimwitty. Dimwitty now takes it to the Whitwell logo, now hands it off to Carly Campbell. 4:45 remaining in the game, Summertown leading by 6. Campbell now over to Emily Brazier in the corner. Ainsley Burleson drives the baseline, goes up and under and gets it to go. Burleson's first 2 points of the second half. She has 16 on the game, and Summertown's lead is the biggest today at 8, 44-36. 4:25 remaining. Here's Olivia Richards, has it from Moore County. Richards now out to Macy Fletcher, straight away 3, misses it. And it goes out of bounds, and that will go over to Summertown. And now Moore County's going to burn their 3rd timeout of the game. With that, we'll also take a break. Here's Summertown leading at 44-36 here on the X Sports Network. And back here at the Whitwell Thanksgiving Tournament, Summertown leading it 44-36, 4:10 remaining in the contest. Winner takes the championship of the girls' side. It's Carly Campbell, now hands over to Angie Burleson to a freshly checked in Lauren Howe as Campbell's three is no good, rebounded by Ellie Graham. Olivia Richards bringing it up the court here from Moore County. Richards brings it down, and she's going to walk. It's only the second turnover of the second half, fifth total in the game for Moore County. They've protected the ball very well in this one. Summertown has 8 turnovers. As Paisley Logan is going to check in for Katie Fletcher. Dimwitty sends it in to Carly Campbell, crosses the timeline at 3:40. Over to Mia Dimwitty, over to Nancy Burleson. Had a wide open eagle down low, couldn't hit it. Carly Campbell now. And that one gets thrown. It's going to cross the court. Dimwitty couldn't save it on time. Third turnover of the second half, 9th of the game against Summertown. Emily Brazier checks back in here for the Lady Eagles. Macy Fletcher now taking it out of bounds, sends it out to Erica Clifton. Clifton across the timeline, guarded by Emily Brazier. 3:20 remaining in this one. Now down low, Macy Fletcher, backdoor cut to Olivia Richards, and it rattles home. Richards is 15. Summertown's lead down to 6, 44-38. Quickly ahead to Ainsley Burleson. Burleson down low to Katie Burdett. Left-handed hook shot in the lane and doesn't go. Rebounded by Macy Fletcher. Fletcher now ahead to Ellie Graham. Graham drives the baseline, kicks it over to Logan in the corner for 3. Back iron no good, and it's rebounded by Carly Campbell. Campbell's going to bring it up the court. Quickly, now over to Ainsley Burleson. Back to Campbell. Campbell's going to bring it out to the Whitwell logo. Now over to Mia Dimwitty. Dimwitty with a zone put on by Moore County out to Katie Burdett to Carly Campbell. Now over to Ainsley Burleson in the corner. Down, trying to get down low to Katie Burdett. Miscommunication intercepted by Erica Logan. Clifton Shusay, she misses a layup. Ellie Graham goes up and gets fouled. She's going to go to the line to shoot 2. That one goes against Mia Dimwitty, her third. Team's 5th of the second half, 2:27 remaining. Graham's going to go to the line to shoot 2. She's 3 for 4 from the line with 6 points. First free throw coming here from Graham. That's up. Rattles out off the glass and in. Reese Wilson going to check in for Mia Dimwitty. There comes the next attempt from Graham. It's up, and it rattles around and in. She's 5 of 6 from the line, 8 points on the night. 44-40 is the Summertown lead. Press put on by Moore County's Reese Wilson. Picks up her dribble. Now sends over to Ainsley Burleson to Katie Burdett. Burdett's going to bring it up now over to Burleson. Burleson drives the baseline. She's going to go up and under, gets the layup and good. She's got 18, and Summertown's leads back out to 6, 46-40, 2:08 remaining. Quickly into Ellie Graham. She crosses the timeline. Gives it to Erica Clifton. Clifton drives. Kicks it over to Macy Fletcher for 3. Misses everything. Rebounded by Reese Wilson. Wilson now ahead to Ainsley Burleson. Now ahead to Emily Brazier. Brazier controls it. Drives. Now out to Carly Campbell. Thinks about 3. Pulls it down. Now to Reese Wilson straight away for 3. Back iron no good. Bounces and rebounded by Fletcher. Fletcher now going to bring it up the court. Richards going to bring it up the court here for Moore County. Now to Paisley Logan in the corner for 3, and she hits it. Nothing but net. First points of the game for Paisley Logan. Moore County going to call their 4th timeout of the game. It's a 46-43 Summertown lead, 1:29 remaining. We'll take a break here as well on the X Sports Network. And back here at the Whitwell Thanksgiving Tournament, 1:29 remaining in the girls' championship game. Summertown lead at 46-43. Carly Campbell has it here, sends over to Reese Wilson, back to Campbell. Campbell crosses the timeline, and Emily Brazier in the corner. Brazier now going to drive the baseline, picks up her dribble, tries in for Katie Burdett, and it's intercepted by Erica Clifton. 10th turnover of the game against Summertown. Clifton now brings it up. It gets knocked out of bounds by Carly Campbell, and back to the Raiders. 1:10 remaining. Katie Fletcher is going to check in for Clifton. Katie Fletcher And inbounds in to Paisley Logan. Now to Fletcher. Fletcher to Macy Fletcher. Over to Olivia Richards. 1 minute remaining. Summertown leading by 3. Over to Ellie Graham. Graham weaving. Hands it off to Paisley Logan. Logan's going to drive, pull up, jumper, air ball. Rebounded by Macy Fletcher, and she's fouled by Reese Wilson. It's Wilson's third. Team 6 of the second half. And Fletcher's going to go to the line to shoot 2. Just 1 of 2 from the free throw stripe here tonight. First shot is up and in, nothing but net. 2-point lead for the Eagles. Second shot from Fletcher is up, and it rattles home and in. Summertown leads by 1, 6 points for Fletcher. 50 seconds remaining. Ainsley Burleson gets it in, now to Katie Burdett. Now over to Carly Campbell at the Whitwell logo. 45 seconds remaining, now over to Burleson. And Moore County now extends their defense. And Burleson's going to get fouled by Ellie Graham. It's the team's 5th. Graham's 2nd. And they're going to have to foul 2 more times. 46-45 is the Summertown lead. Campbell looking. Sends it in to Reese Wilson. Wilson, a handoff to Campbell, and a foul against Katie Fletcher. It's Fletcher's 2nd, team 6. 1 more foul. We're shooting 1 and 1. 38.4 seconds remaining. Campbell. Over to Katie Burdett. Now back to Campbell. Campbell has it. Now over to Ainsley Burleson near the timeline. She's fouled by Ellie Graham. That's Graham's 3rd, team 7th. And Burleson's going to go to the line for the first time tonight. Burleson has 18 points, leading all scores. First free throw from Burleson is up and in. 19 points for Burleson. As Mia Dimwitty checks in for Katie Burdett. 47-45, 33.7 seconds remaining. Very exciting back and forth contest between these two. Second shot from Burleson is up and hits it. She's got 20. And Summertown's going to burn its 3rd timeout of the game. With that, we'll take a break here as well, here on the X Sports Network. Hey, back here at the Whitwell Thanksgiving Tournament, Summertown leading Moore County in the girls' championship game, 48-45. 33.7 seconds remaining. Moore County's going to take it out of bounds. Burleson hit 2 big free throws. She leads all scorers with 20. Richards now sends in to Katie Fletcher, now to Olivia Richards, 30 seconds remaining. Richards going to cross the timeline, guarded by Emily Brazier. Brazier, as Richards sends it over to Katie Fletcher. Fletcher now to Ellie Graham, guarded by Burleson. Graham goes up and under, floater's no good, rebounded by Burleson. Burleson's going to bring it up. Now over to Reese Wilson, 10 seconds remaining, over to Carly Campbell. Campbell's going to get fouled by Graham, her 4th. And Campbell's going to go to the line to shoot 2. Or shoot 1 and 1, excuse me. 48-45 is the lead. Even 8 seconds remaining here for Summertown. Shot is up. Back iron no good. Rebounded by Ainsley Burleson. Now we have a jump ball. And that one's going to go to Moore County. And Moore County is going to call their final timeout of the game. We're going to keep it right here. 6.7 seconds remaining. Moore County trailing by 3. Very exciting back and forth contest here, coming down to the final shot. Leading scorers for the Lady Eagles, Carly Campbell has 13. All of those coming in the second half. Ainsley Burleson has 20, leading all scorers on the other side. Olivia Richards, she has 15 points for the Raiders. Everyone else in even digits. Ellie Graham has 7. Katie Fletcher with 7. So, plenty of options, a lot of good shooters on the Moore County side. Be interesting to see what they do here. The boys' game championship between the same 2 squads, Summertown and Moore County, coming up right after this. So whistle blows, and we're getting ready to play the final 6 seconds of this game. Jeremy Jean, in his first year as a head coach here for the Lady Eagles, trying to get them to 5-0 and bring home a little hardware. Taking on his alma mater. It's Olivia Richards inbounds. It sends it into Katie Fletcher, back to Richards. 3 seconds remaining. Crosses the timeline. 2 seconds. Final shot is up. Back iron, no good, and that's the end of the ball game. Summertown escapes with a close 48-45 lead. They improve to 5-0 in the season, and they win the Whitwell Thanksgiving Classic Tournament. Coming up will be the boys right after this between the same two squads. So Lady Eagles improve to 5-0. They'll get a much-needed few days off here as they get ready for their next games. And we'll be back here with the boys contest here in just about 12 minutes here on the X Sports Network.